A woman will choose, instead of actually physically raping a man, to destroy him from the inside out. Now, you must first understand that women thrive off of male energy. A young, healthy, single man full of potential and energy is the most powerful force in humanity, and this is why all of our matriarchal Western society is designed specifically to distract and eventually destroy or mentally enslave men. We're given these outlets as excuses for our oppression and then tricked into considering ourselves manly for following orders. So I'm going to say this. Watching football does not make you manly. Watching sports does not make you manly. The sports industry capitalizes on men's never-ending desires to improve and compete. However, it is just another diversionary outlet for channeling male aggression and power into an arena that doesn't threaten our governments and Western women, the two biggest enemies of men. Drinking and constant partying also does not make you a man. This is just another aspect of how men are anesthetized and oppressed. It distracts us from our servitude. Get drunk, get laid by some communal whore at some seedy cesspool bar or club that you frequent, and maybe some of us will actually learn to love our servitude.
Men have nice cars, not because they like nice cars, because they know women like nice cars. That's how it goes. Because men are hunters, and the car is the bait. And a woman comes and says, "Ooh, nice Porsche." Gotcha, bitch.
Having a nice car and a huge house is not a sign of wealth or manhood. Unless a man actually acquired these things for himself, but let's face it, what man goes out and buys a Mercedes or a Ferrari and a 4 or 5 bedroom house for any other reason than attracting some materialistic Western whore that's all but making you sign a divorce paper the moment she meets you? And this is how the Western succubus rapes. She, with the help of this wicked, anti-male, satanic, yes, I said satanic government, tricks you into not even realizing that you're going to work 2 or 3 decades on average just to end up giving a substantial portion of the wealth you acquire to some greedy leech who spend years by your side convincing you that she's supplying you with loyalty, when in fact you're just getting the toxic isomer of prolonged, cold, calculated, and devastating deception. And once you realize that the hooks are in, they're in so deep that it causes just as much damage and pain to rip them out than it does to leave them in and pretend they aren't there. Either way, you end up neutralized, a non-male, a non-entity, a eunuch, and a domesticated dog. You have no polarity, no electricity, no power, no teeth, no sting, and no bite. Just the constant muddled whispers of what the fuck just happened to me. Well, I'll tell you what just happened to you. You just got raped. Avoid being raped. 1. Learn to go indefinitely without pussy. Now, I've said this before, but until you do so, you're not a man. Now, when I said this, I got a bunch of people messaging me back saying, well, we need pussy, so we might as well take it. Look, I understand where you're coming from, but this is not the attitude that we need. When you learn to go indefinitely without pussy, you'll find that you can function at a level you have never even thought possible. A whole new world of opportunity will open up to you. And remember, I didn't say not to enjoy pussy when you get it. I just said that if you find yourself in a situation where a woman is trying to control you with her pussy, resist, reject, and remove yourself completely from your dealings with this evil extortionist. 2. Educate yourself by any means necessary. And whatever you decide to do, master your craft. If you go to school, get into a man's major that is immune to feminist brainwashing. Math will never change because women are bitching. Neither will chemistry, physics, microbiology, or welding, or machining, or mechanics, or engineering, and architecture. Get into these trades. Get into the hard sciences. History, English, Women's Lib, African American and Latino studies, or any other ethnicity-based majors are not considered worthy of the massive expenditure of time and energy you need to become successful. These topics of study can be researched and investigated on your own time if you find them interesting. 3. Start selecting the women you are cautiously, emphasis on the word cautiously, considering entering a relationship into a relationship with for character traits instead of physical beauty. Now, I'm not saying to date a girl that you find physically repulsive because attraction is important to men. But what I'm saying is that that looks should no longer be the most important factor in selecting a mate. Now, it's said that men are always chasing after physical beauty because the most physically beautiful women are the ones who are most likely to produce the most healthy babies. However, any biological impulse can be overridden, and we have to also take into account that at least in Western society, the most physically attractive women tend to also be the most greedy, superficial, and self-serving. These qualities negate any genetic or biological advantage that your children will have, with the fact that if your potential children aren't aborted by this harpy, they'll be used as bargaining chips against you during the divorce, and the divorce will come. And even if you don't marry her, she'll still use your children as a bargaining chip in order to extract child support from you. So, advantage for your children, my ass. We're going to have to launch a campaign of genetic warfare on the Western whore. Only breed with women who display time and time again that they adhere to a team framework in which the children that you guys have, are the number one priority. And even with this, you have to be extremely cautious. And lastly, we have to recruit other men and help only those men who we see displaying the adequate amount of consciousness and desire to break free of the system. If they want to remain slaves, then let them. However, if you see someone that is exhibiting mangina behaviors because, in your opinion, he simply just doesn't know any better, and you can see that with the proper amount of education and constructive criticism and even ridicule, you can get him to wake up, then at least try. At least try once. The unclouded eye is better no matter what it sees. And so even though most of us walk around feeling like we're on another planet, we are alive and awake, we are sentient and conscious, and we are certainly not the castrated eunuch non-entities that walk amongst us every day. We are the outcasts, but only because we have cast ourselves out. We recognize each other instantly because sentience is unmistakable to those who contain sentience within themselves. But as of right now, we're relegated to finding each other outside of YouTube via random encounters. But this is going to change, and it's going to change soon. I'm done talking. Good night. God bless.